I'm very happy to introduce season 2014 and 15 to you, where we, the Semperoper Ballet, will present 10 very exciting and diverse programs to you here at home in Dresden and also on several international tours. The first premiere of the season is the iconic love story Tristan and Isolde. David Dawson, very talented British choreographer, is already very well known to our house, will bring this story alive on our stage. Instead of using the traditional score by Richard Wagner, we will have a new composition by a very talented young Polish composer, Szymon Brzoska. I'm also very excited to announce the second premiere of our season, which is William Forsythe's brilliant masterpiece, Impressing the Czar. I think we're incredibly lucky to have the rights for this. We have exclusive worldwide rights for the next 5 years. And this evening is sort of his ode to classical ballet. Next season we will be touring with various Forsythe ballets made up in different programs for specific cities, including the new suite, which was specially created and adapted for our company in 2012 by William Forsythe. Also in the middle, somewhat elevated, which we performed for our first 3 seasons and makes up the second part of Impressing the Czar. And lastly, Enemy in the Figure. We'll be going to New York, Fall for Dance, and then to St. Pölten, Austria, followed by Paris, Théâtre de la Ville. And then later in the season to Barcelona, Liceu. We were returning, as we were there a few years ago with Giselle. And finally, De Singel in Antwerp. To open our season, we'll be bringing back Bella Figura, which by this point is one of our audience's favorite programs. It's made up of 3 different ballets. The first is Jiří Kylián's Bella Figura, second is David Dawson's The Grey Area, and thirdly, to close the evening, Ohad Naharen's Minus 16. Another great love story that returns to our stage is Romeo and Juliet. It was created for us by Belgian choreographer Stijn Slees, and I think we have a very unique production. It challenges our dancers not only through dance, but also to develop their acting skills. It's very high on drama. It's got amazing group scenes with very realistic fights, beautiful pas de deux. As part of the continued celebration of the 150th birthday of Richard Strauss, who was one of the most prominent composers of our house, we will be participating with our Legends homage on Richard Strauss, which is made up of 2 creations for our company. The first of which is by one of the most sought-after choreographers of our time, Alexei Rachmansky, and I'm so pleased that we managed to get him for a creation, as we're the first company in Germany to have this. Secondly is the huge epic tale, Joseph's Legend. We will celebrate this program as part of a week-long festivities of Richard Strauss at the beginning of November in 2014. What Christmas would be complete without the Nutcracker? This is one ballet that we've decided to do in a very traditional classical way, which represents the spirit of Dresden and the Christmas markets that you find here. Jason Beachy, the rector of the Palooka School, did the choreography with myself, and there are more than 70 children involved in the production as well. It's a family classic that I look to bring back every season for our public. Swan Lake will return to our stage, one of the most famous ballets, classical ballets of our time, and definitely one of the favorites of our public. I did this production myself some years ago and based the majority of the traditional choreography on the Petipa and Ivanov. The production is of course accompanied by our wonderfully famous Staatsoper orchestra. We tried to stick to the original score and sped the tempos up a lot, and I worked mostly on the divertissements to create something new. Another well-known romantic classic that will find its way back into our repertoire next season is the tragic love story of Giselle. David Dawson retells this story, or adapts this story for our time, and through his very unique neoclassical vocabulary has created another very poignant take on this traditional classic. At the end of the season, we bring back one of our most successful programs, Nordic Lights. My original idea was a program made up of 3 Scandinavian choreographers, but somehow it ended up to be a Swedish monopoly. The first piece opens with Pontus Lidberg's poetic Im andre Raum. The second piece, Walking Mad, is Johan Inger's bizarre take on Ravel's Bolero. And we close the evening with Alexander Ekman's highly entertaining Cacti. The season will culminate with our participation in the International Dance Festival Dresden. Among other very prominent companies, we will present 4 different very diverse programs, from Our Swan Lake to Impressing the Czar, Tristan and Isolde, and Nordic Lights. And the festival will be held in the end of June, beginning of July, over 2 weeks.